Hello everybody, Christine here and welcome to this month's podcast. May's been a fantastic month. We've seen lots of volunteering across the entire region. I've been out in Texas for a couple of weeks, so I haven't managed to get along to all of the sessions, but I did get to a few. It was really fabulous to see the great work that you guys were doing. You know, there was all sorts of things going on, from litter picking, lots of gardening, and the work we did for the charities was just absolutely fantastic. We have, of course, we'll continue with our fundraising, so we'll get Tough Mudder going on at the end of the month, and the guys who are participating in that have raised a phenomenal amount of money so far for the 4 charities involved. So I hope you enjoy the podcast. Let's hear from some other people, and I will catch up with you very soon when I come along to the next round of Time to Learn. Speak to you all soon.
Good afternoon everyone, it's Scott McCathie here. I'm happy to join this month's podcast with our coaches. I've been told I've got a face for radio on numerous occasions, so hopefully this is a bit of a time to shine for me. So as I said, I'm sat with the 3 North 2 coaches. I'm with Gavin, Alana and James. How are you all doing today?
Oh, good, thank you.
Thank you.
Good, thanks.
Good stuff, enjoying this weather that's about just now.
Glorious.
Always good to get out in the sunshine.
Good. So you've all been coaches now for coming up in, what is it, about 18 months or so?
Yeah.
Yeah, so during that time, what's been your focus during the 18 months you've been in?
The first 12 months really has been focused on implementing FTTP into the region, helping the engineers on the new skill set, as well as helping the company realise the barriers that the engineers are coming up against and feeding that back. So improvements on both sides.
Yeah. I was well aware, the first 18 months, fibre was such a big thing to land for the business, wasn't it? So that's clearly been your focus during that initial 12-month period. What's been the main focuses since then? Has there been anything specific, or has it changed quite a bit?
It changes quarter to quarter, and then that's a big thing. I think some of the engineers think that we handpick what we're trying to go out and look at. It comes through the business, it's driven by the business. Each quarter they will have a main focus, and it's from there then we go in and look at the list for each KPI, whatever, and take it from there. So that's what we've been implementing, or looking at and implementing in the last 6 months, as well as FTTP.
So you're out there all the time dealing with a lot of different people. You're meeting new people just about every day across the region, so you'll be well known, so you must have some highlights during that time.
We're just being able to support people, and making them aware that we're not there because they're in any trouble, but we're just there because they need that wee bit of help and support. And that in turn builds their confidence back up, because they know what they're doing. It's just that they may have been struggling a wee bit or whatever.
It's not the big bad coaches coming out to see people in the field, no?
Definitely not, no.
You talk about there, but that is a big stigma, still to an extent as well. I think we have changed it a little bit, but there's a stigma that it's a bad thing having a coach out, and it's not like that at all. We've been out to people that are high performers and stuff like that, and we pick up, all the coaches in fact up down the UK pick up wee small nuggets and take things from their visits to feed out to other engineers as well, and vice versa. When you're out with somebody that does need coaching, you're still picking stuff up from them that you can feed out to the ones that are high performing, so it works, it's a win-win for everybody.
Everybody's got something good to share, don't they? You find that when you're out in the field, no matter who it is.
Indeed.
Yeah, good stuff. So, just for anybody that maybe doesn't know, do the coaches belong to a bigger group? I know you kind of touched it, on it with one of your answers there, but what does that look like outside of North 2? I'd imagine everybody knows your names and faces now in the region, but, how does that look like outside of North 2?
So we have a central North manager. We have a North manager for the North coaches. We have a central region with our own manager, a London region, and we have a southern region. There's 65 coaches throughout the UK. The 3 of us work obviously in North 2, but there's all the different North regions. We have the one North manager who will focus on our day-to-day, where it will let us know where the companies want us to focus, and then we can liaise with the managers and Christine in North 2, be able to implement anything that we need to within our region.
Good. So you've got your own support network outside of North 2 as well to rely on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So you're well making it sound like peaches and cream so far, but you must have come across some challenges and some obstacles during that time. Is there anything that stands out? Without naming any names or getting them into trouble.
No, I think one of the we talked on stigmatism and things like that. It's breaking that down after when you first come into and you're out with an engineer. Sometimes they can be, especially if they haven't asked for you to be there and it's just come up that you're there on site with them. There can be obviously it can be a bit disheartening for them, maybe in a way that you're being out, and they think it's because they're doing something wrong, and generally it's not. Generally it's just a case of there's a little bit of focus in certain areas that need to go on. We don't have to pick up anything big. It could be just something really small that all of a sudden that engineer goes, I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah.
The challenges some of the day-to-day stuff as well is like you could have a plan in place. Like, you're on your way to an engineer or you're with an engineer and you may take another phone call that somebody's struggling with FTTP or unsure how to carry something out, and then your whole day switches, then you have to leave that engineer to go and travel to another.
Change your plans at
So
the
it's
last
complete
minute, just
change.
adapt to that.
Yeah, you just need to adapt to it.
I think we need to be quite flexible as coaches, because we could plan our whole week and by the end of the week it's not went that way.
Yeah.
People can be sick, people can have van breakdowns, then that just throws your whole day into a, right, okay, we need to start from scratch, and you're starting to move people about.
Definitely no 2 weeks are exactly the same, and no 2 days
No 2
are the
days,
same.
yeah.
That must be a good point though, you know, it's variety and everything.
Well, it keeps you going.
Keeps you on your toes, keeps it interesting.
And then it's the paperwork. I think everybody thinks that we just like to have a wee drive a bit more vans and go and chat to
Is
people.
that not the case?
Definitely not. There's a paper, so we've got loads of paperwork.
Rips man knitting.
Unfortunately, that's a necessity though.
We need to fill in a form. You fill in a form. You tell this person that we filled in that form, and so
Speaking of that, what does a day in the life of a coach look like, just from first thing in the morning to last thing at night? I know you're saying it's different every day, but roughly what would it involve in a day where you're out coaching somebody?
So basically I've got my calendar sorted for the week. So you know who or what you're aiming for that day.
Yep.
However, when you wake up in the morning, you fire up Oracle and you look to see where the engineer is that you're focused on, you know they're meant to be in, and then all of a sudden there's either a training that's gone in, or they've moved days off, or they're on holiday last minute, or something else has happened. So it's being able to adapt to that and being able to change your focus, go into something else, and so that, to me, that's can be interesting as well as it can be quite a challenge because you're trying to fit everything in.
Yep.
when you do get out with the engineer though, then your day is pretty, it goes hopefully plain sailing through there. So it's busy, but it's good.
Again, on the back of that though, but I mean, you're finished with that engineer and you up the road, you're in the house. It's not a fling the iPad, you're done. It's you're filling in governance, you're letting people know you're back in the house, you're filling in more forms, replying to emails, replying to phone calls that you've took throughout the day. You might even have to jump on calls at 5:30 and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's no plain sailing.
Just trying to find a quiet place in the house for your Teams calls is the biggest challenge.
I think everybody said that one since COVID. Good, listen, that's a great insight into what you all do, or what the threes do within the region to support. If an engineer's out there and wants to get in contact with you, how would they do that? What's the best way of them getting in contact with you?
Give us a wee phone call,
Yep.
quick wee message on Teams, wee email, whatever they feel comfortable to get a hold of us. We're the threes will pick up, we'll answer, we're there. Even if people have got something they want to show us that they'd like the wider region to know about that might be helpful, they don't need us that just for support, but every day's a school day, we'll be learning as well, so yeah.
Good. Otherwise, speak to your manager. Your manager will be able to put you in the right place. If you don't have any of our numbers, you'll be able to find it. They'll be able to get in touch with us. And use it as a positive. Is my biggest bit of advice is use us as much as you can, because we are an asset, and I believe personally that it can help yourself grow, and it will help you when you come to even your PDP or anything like that that you've got with your manager or any meetings. You can got that evidence then to be able to put forward what measures you've been putting in place.
Don't wait till it's too late.
Good. Listen, fantastic guys, thanks for taking time out your busy day to speak with me today, and have a great day and enjoy the sunshine while it's there.
No problem. Cheers, Scott.
Cheers.
Hi everyone, hope you're all well. It's Daniel Rattigan here, and I'm joined today by David Shannon, who I believe has some questions for me. Good afternoon, David. How are you doing?
Not too bad, Daniel. Nice sunny day outside, and we're inside recording a podcast. How's yourself?
Yeah, absolutely fine. Get beers in the fridge ready to go after this, so looking forward to it.
Guys have been off the weekend. Shame those on there. So, just a couple of questions, mate. Just see how you're getting on. Obviously, 5 weeks into your secondment now. How are you finding it?
Really enjoying it, to be honest. It's amazing how fast the 5 weeks have went. It feels like I just started doing it last week, to be honest with you. So it's absolutely floating, but not really enjoying it.
That's good to know. One of the things I really want to know, obviously, like myself, you've done team cover in the past, holidays, days off, etc. How does that compare with secondment? What's the difference between a fully fledged secondment and just a bit of cover?
So the main difference is I feel like I've actually been able to get a bit hands-on with this secondment. I have access to Oracle, have access to the system. I'm in contact with the team managers every day. I'm in contact with the real-time workflows every day. So you actually feel like you are covering the team rather than just being available to take calls and maybe being out and about helping guys run cable and stuff like that as well. So you do actually feel like you're in and covering the team and you're involved in the whole process. So you got real good insight into the life of a team manager and what's actually involved in it. It's a lot more than what it appears from engineer level.
Yeah, I actually believe that. I think doing cover myself, it's as if you're just answering the phone, really, and just being available. But I know what you mean, learning a lot more about what they actually do. What's the best bit of it?
So I think the best bit of it that I've enjoyed the most is actually I've had the chance to go along to a couple of regional meetings now, see what's involved in that, been able to speak to Christine and other team managers and just kind of be involved in that side of things. So for me, that's been the best bit because that's where I've learned the most during the secondment, and just from a totally different perspective, it kind of changes the way you think about things. Whenever you hear something come out normally, you always get your engineer head on. How does that affect me? But whereas when you're in the secondment and you're in that role, it changes your perspective on everything. So yeah, that's definitely what's I've enjoyed most about it.
That sounds good. Sounds like it'll help you when you come back on the tools, just for a bit of a different idea how things actually work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, something I've wondered a wee bit. Obviously, I've known you pretty much since I started, going pretty well with you. How do you find it treating us guys now that you're on a secondment and doing our PDPs and similar? How do you find that we're treating you? Is there any difference between how we're treating you now compared to a few weeks ago?
Well, no, there really hasn't been. Quite fortunate that everyone, I've always got on with everyone in the team anyway. So, and everyone in the team has been absolutely brilliant. They've all been really supportive as well. I've enjoyed going out, spending time with as many of them as I can. Still get more time to spend with them in the coming weeks as well. Speak to them every day on the phone. They've been absolutely brilliant, and I've really not had anyone being awkward with me or turning things around and saying, "Oh, what are you saying that to me for? 3 weeks ago you were an engineer. You can't say that." I've not had any of that, which I always had in the back of my mind might have been a possibility. But I must say it's been really nice from that regard, and it's really much appreciated on my end as well that how supportive everyone has been. So no, it's been fantastic.
No, that's good to hear, and obviously I'm helping you this wee podcast here. That wee wage rise will be in the back burner, yeah.
I'll ping an email across just now and see what I can do for you.
Superb. Just last question for me, Daniel, and I just want a one-word answer on this. Do you recommend a secondment if anybody else had the chance to do it?
Absolutely.
Superb, mate. Well, listen, Daniel, cheers for your time, mate. It's getting on. It's Friday night, sun's shining. I think it's beer o'clock for us, mate.
Yep. Absolutely. Thanks very much for your time as well, David. Have a good weekend.
Cheers, buddy. Speak to you later.
Speak to you later on.
Hey everyone, it's Paul Monahan here. It's over to me now to close off this month's version of the podcast and thank everyone who has participated. If you would like to be on the next podcast or a future version, please get in touch with your team manager or Stephen Cameron, who pulls these all together and does a great job at getting them out to everyone. Just a couple of areas that I wanted to call out before we finished. The first one being the people survey. In home service, we increased our ESAT score by 5 points, which took us up to 73, which I hope you'll agree is a great improvement on the previous survey results. To find out more, go to the Home Hub. Imran has a post there that will let you know all of the actions we are taking and the feedback that we've received so far. If you would also like to be in the People Survey Action Group for North 2, please speak to the other members of your team and agree that you would like to get involved and get your name over to me to be involved in the next session, which will be happening over the next few weeks. The group really has had a good few sessions now, and hopefully it has helped to make North 2 a better place to work. And again, with your support and input, we can continue to make improvements in North 2 to make things even better. The next thing I wanted to call out was all of the volunteering and wellbeing days that have happened throughout May. These have been fantastic, and hopefully the majority of you have all benefited from a volunteering day and some time to spend with the rest of your team away from work. Scott McCathie has pulled together a fantastic video that really celebrates all of the work that we have done over the past month or so, and this has been posted on Yammer. There's a link in everyone's team's page that takes you directly to this. I'd like to encourage you to go and get a look at this video, as it really is fantastic, and leave a comment on what volunteering or wellbeing event you liked most. Other than that, there's nothing more for me to say than please enjoy the sunshine. Hopefully it lasts for a long time and we get a good summer. Continue to look after yourself and look after each other, and we'll catch up with you all very soon on the next version of the North 2 podcast. Take care.